right, guys, so we are entering in the Hollywood Car Museum right here in Gatlinburg, and actually this is one of the cars from the movie. Actually, I'm not sure which movie this one was. It was one of the Fast and Furious movies, I believe. Was this? No, this is an Avenger. So, but there are some Fast and Furious cars here, and one of the people down there in Cape Coral painted all the first Fast and Furious cars, so we may see some of their handiwork here. All right, so first thing is we've got the Lincoln Futura that was built in '55 in Gia, Italy. This is what they used to make the Batmobile. This is the George Barris Batmobile. Now, every time we put up a Batmobile that we find in some museum somewhere, somebody's like, hey, George Barris didn't build it. Barris built this one. This is a George Barris built custom Batmobile right here. So, if we look at this Batmobile versus some of the other ones, tailpipes are a little bit different. Interior on this one is all closed up. If you look at the one that is down in Venice, Florida, they have all the instrumentation done. This is a movie car. This may have been just one of the driving cars, because this actually has a steering wheel. It has some props in it. This is the Joker's Wild Script is right there. So this is one of the vehicles, but I would say this may have been one of the driving vehicles. And the reason I say that is there's not a lot of detail that would not be open to the camera. They also have some of the stuff that was from the Batcave right here. We've got a Fast and Furious Eleanor. Now, the funny thing is, Eleanors, now you can't say you have an Eleanor. You guys, I mean, a lot of you probably know this, but the lady who owns Eleanor, who owns the copyright, her husband wrote Gone in 60 Seconds, but he didn't write the Gone in 60 Seconds that this car was in. The Gone in 60 Seconds that he wrote had a 73 Mach 1 in it. The Nicolas Cage was actually a remake of Gone in 60 Seconds, and that's what this Eleanor is. So a lot of companies started making these Eleanors, but she owns the rights to them because her husband wrote the original Gone in 60 Seconds, so she won't allow people to make Eleanor cars anymore, so you have to call them something different. All right, we've got one of the General Lees here. Now, Bubba Wallace actually has the #1, or not Bubba Wallace, Bubba Watson from the PGA Tour has the #1 General Lee by serial number. But a lot of people don't realize that some of the body moldings, like here, this body molding doesn't appear, that body molding doesn't appear on a lot of the General Lees because they had to fix them. There was so much Bondo that this body molding right here would disappear in a lot of the stunt cars. Also, all General Lees were tan. Some had, and this according to John Schneider, some had a full cage, some had no cage. Also, the back is not black. So if you have a General Lee, that has to be orange like that. They are not black. The original in the movie, if you talk to John Schneider, the flags that's painted on here, the white part of the flag when they were making the TV show was actually just tape. It was medical tape that they used for the white because it was a lot easier to put on, because you got to imagine they had 29 to 30 cars available every episode. And so when they did that, they didn't have stickers. This was back in the 70s. So what they did was they just used medical tape and they would just paint the blue and put star stickers on. So that's something that a lot of people don't realize about it. They also did use both 68s and 69s in the show. Oh, one other thing. There was a little thing in the glass, I cannot remember what it is, but it was only in one episode, and that was it. Now this does have the tan interior. If you can see in there, it has a tan interior. This has a B&M shifter. I'm not sure how many cars had B&M shifters. This is one of the 17 originally used for the TV series, and like I said, they must have painted this one because when they made the series, they just used white medical tape, according to John Schneider. All right, what do we got here? This is one of the Fast and Furious cars as well.
Oh, that's the best one.
This is the Ice Charger car. If you remember, this one went over I think when they were chasing the submarine in that particular Fast and Furious, they were chasing a submarine, and this was the one that was on the ice when the nuclear submarine, I believe, comes up. So this is Mike Tyson's Lamborghini Diablo. Now, Mike Tyson used to buy a ton of cars. He also bought homes and everything else. He went through $100 million very quickly. I saw in an interview when he was talking about, he would just buy these cars and then just park them and then buy another one instead of giving gas. He also gave a lot away. He might be driving in a Lamborghini, he might be driving a Ferrari or a Mercedes. He would just hand it to somebody and give them the keys at the time. The famous V12. April, should they subscribe to this channel even if they don't like cars today for this one?
Probably just for this one.